3, 2, 1.
What up, Kev? Technology Kev in the house.
I'm all messed up. You ever get out there with a new piece of gear at a live gig, and the time you decide to test it out first is at the gig?
Yes.
It's just a train wreck from start to finish. What a mess.
I've always been smart enough to keep the old, whatever we were using before, keep that as well.
Yeah, that's always,
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
but I've seen people go out on a limb like, all right, like when Serato first came out, people were like, we just got this Serato. Like, nobody knew how to plug anything in, and people's computers weren't ready for it. And I was like, well, now you don't have no show today. So there's that. They're like, Trey, can you go on now? I'm like, I'm supposed to go on at 11:30. My crew ain't even here yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, what's good, Kev? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm a little out of sorts. How are our Bay Area friends going to be talking trash?
Wait. Oh, you talking about the Rams game?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care what happens to the Rams.
Yeah.
Although I don't understand, and I guess it is what it is, but I don't understand like Southern California 49ers fans. And it's not a diss, but
are there a lot?
San Francisco people hate you. Like they hate Los Angeles and hate you so much that I just don't understand how you could be a fan of any of their teams. It's weird. But I understand them more than I understand Southern California Giants fans, though. Like Southern California Giants fans, like I'm like, yo, they literally hate Los Angeles in real life. Like it's not like it's not the team.
Yeah, the only Giants fans I've ever met are from up there. The only 49ers fan I can name like hardcore is your boy Combo.
Oh. Yeah. No, I know a couple. It's funny because like it's like Angels fans, but it's slightly different. I'm gonna tell you this is funny. Okay. No, listen. Los Angeles 49ers fans talk like they escaped something. Like, I'm not a Raiders fan, I'm a 49ers fan. Like, they survived. So I'm like, yo, are you okay? It's not that big of a deal. Like, they were in Los Angeles, they won a championship. Like, they're fans of this team here. Angels fans, on the other hand.
Well, LA, for football, LA is really just like a bus stop, like a bus depot. Come through, we'll hang out.
Hey, when you build a $1 billion stadium right on top of the cemetery, so can't nobody go see their grandma and put some flowers down. You know what I mean? No, I was gonna tell a joke about different fans, but the only thing I think is funny about Angels fans is how it has to be like about LA as a place. Like if the Angels have a losing season, they'll be like, but LA is dirty though. All right. Settle down. Just come on. We've all been to Santa Ana. It's just not let's everybody sit down and relax.
Oh man. I mean, come on. Angel Stadium is like Disneyland's exhaust pipe.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. This is Sports Talk, Rap Sucks Radio, by the way. Kevin, man, I don't have an opening question for you other than are you ready for this Sunday? And should we let the people know before we even come? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I guess we could, because whatever happens, somebody's going to be bragging next week. So but the only reason I would hesitate at all is because we don't know when it's coming out. But who cares? It's our show.
I mean, well, I guess we could. Well, we should wait to brag.
That's
based
true.
On based on the show.
Are we really going to be able to do that?
It depends on
one of us is going to just set a reminder to watch closely at how the next episode begins, because one of us is going to start like this.
I'm sending subliminal shots. Exactly, subliminal shots are happening. There'll be some subliminal. If you're a fan of the show and you watch it on BTSN, you'll know who won. So for the people, Kev, we'll be on the hip hop game show Headspin. So we're recording the show this Sunday. It's me versus Kev, Rap Sucks Radio battle, hip hop knowledge battle. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. And I feel like depending upon era will give advantage here, I think. I think era will give advantage.
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure about that. I feel like if we get into, I don't want to, you know what? I don't know. I don't want you to prepare. So I'm not going to give you all that. I'm just saying, I feel like era might give advantage here.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. So it can't help me.
Okay. Well, there
are you saying I'm old? Is that what you're saying? Is that the suggestion?
Said that on like every show. I think I've said that every single episode for at least the last 5.
Hey, you know what? We've been practicing. Old. We've been practicing. We've been really working hard. We're just going to try and get out there and leave everything on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Give a strong effort. Leave it all out there. The best thing about sports this past week, by the way, was that Aaron Rodgers was a little teary-eyed after they won this Sunday. However, the Cal game versus at USC was canceled. So Aaron Rodgers gave his alumni COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Good job, Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving didn't give anybody else COVID.
Nope. And Big Bird's smarter than both of them.
And Big Bird is smarter than both of them. So yeah, man. Speaking of, we got some dumb people to talk about, man. Let's just go on and get to the other side. Kev, are you ready, man?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You alive on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Track Life and your fam, Kev Sakoda.
Knowledge reigns supreme.
He's so ready. It's so ridiculous. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you'd like to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. And if you'd like to catch this on your television, what you could do is you can go to BTSN, that's Behind the Scenes Network, download the app or channel on any of your Roku or Amazon Fire devices, click on the app or channel, and we are right there with plenty of other dope content. BTSN, yes. Behind the Scenes Network, we want in. Yo, Kev, man. This is a really, really, this is actually more upsetting. So I'll try not to go on my usual Trek Life rants on this, but, but yeah, Kev, who's got to chill this week?
We got a 2 for this week. Judge Bruce Schroeder from the Kyle Rittenhouse case and Kevin, I don't know if it's Gough, the defense attorney from the Ahmaud Arbery case. Both of them got to chill hard.
Yeah, big time. So the topic title Kev chose for this are Too Many Slow Asians and Religious Blacks. Good grief. The reason for that is the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial makes inappropriate Asian food joke, and defense attorney in the Arbery case declares, "We don't want any more black pastors coming in here." Sources for this is CNN. That was an exact quote, by the way. CNN.com is the source, TheVerge.com, APnews.com, pretty much the entire internet at this point. Players involved, as Kev stated, are Judge Bruce Schroeder and defense attorney Kevin Gough. And also useless racism, which, is a Jay-Z level double entendre type thing, I guess, if that's not accurate, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so the judge presiding over the homicide trial of Kyle Rittenhouse confused observers after making a strange and off-color joke inside the courtroom on Thursday. The joke was, quote, "I hope the Asian food isn't coming, isn't on one of those boats from Long Beach Harbor." He said that as they were preparing to take a lunch break, Schroeder, the longest serving active judge in Wisconsin trial courts, appeared to be referring to the supply chain backlog caused by the COVID congestion and all that in California ports. But his comments were offensive and perceived as anti-Asian by some, and as placed blame on Asian people for a large-scale event. Just as a note, okay, whatever. Every ship that's in that harbor is not coming from Asia, so that's probably why people feel like it's directed. He's also racist against technology. Kev also noted. On Wednesday, Schroeder stated that it was up to the prosecution to prove that zooming in a video with an iPad doesn't alter or manipulate the footage. His quote here is, iPads, which are made by Apple, have artificial intelligence in them that allow things to be viewed through 3 dimensions and logarithms. The defense said as part of, he didn't say this, I'm sorry. The defense said as part of its objection, adding that the iPad uses artificial intelligence or their logarithms to create what they believe is happening. So this isn't actually enhancing the video. This is Apple's iPad programming creating what it thinks is there, not necessarily what is there. Okay. We'll talk about that. Not to be outdone, meanwhile, in Brunswick, GA, where the racist Three Stooges are on trial for murdering an unarmed young man. It's not a laughing matter, but Kev with the clever writing. An attorney for one of the white men standing during trial in the death of Ahmaud Arbery told the judge Thursday he doesn't want, quote, any more black pastors in the courtroom after the Reverend Al Sharpton sat with the slain man's family. Gah, told Supreme Court Judge Timothy Walmsley that he was concerned Sharpton's presence in court Wednesday was an attempt to intimidate the disproportionately white jury hearing the case. The jury was not in the courtroom when he made the remarks. Here's the quote. Obviously, there's only so many pastors they can have, says a man who's never been to a black church, by the way. And if their pastors is Al Sharpton right now, that's fine. But then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, sitting with the victim's family, trying to influence the jurors on the case. That is all the information that we have. Kev, set it off.
Oh, so much losers.
Dude.
Should we start with the judge?
Yeah, let's start with Judge Schroeder.
But is he Ricky Schroeder's less famous cousin?
I mean, he's trying to be. He's trying to be.
Yeah, reminded me that that genius's defense is probably being funded at least in part by Silver Spoons himself, isn't it?
It might be.
I mean,
a clown. There's so many clowns involved in this whole thing.
They don't even know how Zoom, and when Trek said Zoom, just to be clear, because we're scarred after the last year and a half, you meant zooming in and out of a picture, a pinch to zoom. Mm-hmm. They were trying to explain that in the courtroom and saying that the AI changes what's actually in the picture. So they were showing pictures of the crime scene, I assume, and, zooming in and out. The defense attorney's allegation was that Apple sets it up so that it fills in some sort of detail that isn't actually there in the picture. I guess that was the intention of what he was saying, which clearly this guy has. This guy gets really hands-on with his dick pics that he's sending to his girlfriend or whatever. He's like, no, really, it's there. Let me just zoom in.
This, I promise you.
This is not the
Apple is adding extra space that isn't there, extra whatever wherever the shot was taken, extra bathroom in the background.
Yeah, this is the dude who. This is, I never understood why people get so crazy about the notch in the phone. It's this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because that little notch is hiding his little notch.
See, this is horrible. This is horrible.
Oh man, but and the judge clearly doesn't understand how DoorDash works, or is just really, really stupid. I mean, what was the Asian food joke? What was
I don't get it. It was a I'm not sure if it was a crack on like Asians or California or Asians from California or Asians delivering goods to California. Like, I'm not sure what the joke was supposed to be.
But you're ordering Panda Express to a courtroom in Wisconsin and it's by way of Long Beach Harbor, you're not smart.
But see, this is the thing, though. What the judge is doing, and in my opinion, is basically performing for his audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is basically him telling his bigoted, racist homies, like, I got y'all, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna take this seriously. So this is what we gonna do, fam. And he's also the longest running judge in Wisconsin, right? So I'm like, man, like somebody said today, a very obvious statement. Like, if this is what they do when the cameras are on,
exactly,
imagine what they do when the cameras are off. And he's been one of the longest running judges in Wisconsin. There's some brothers locked right on up for, without full evidence. There's people, I'm certain that if you dig through this man's record at this point, the way he's acting, at least, there's some madness in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to go after he gets off work. He goes and catches a set at the Yuck Yucks there in Kenosha. He signs autographs. Let's go, Brandon. Just keeps it pushing. He later that evening though, he probably was laying in bed. He couldn't fall asleep because he was kicking himself that he didn't say Oriental instead of Asian.
Oh yeah, he probably.
It's like, come on. He's like, come on, Bruce.
Yeah, you could do better.
You're better than that, Bruce.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Give him a couple years, he'll be showing off, in some Trumpian sort of way, to kind of show that he's down. But this is I'm trying to show you I'm down.
He'll be running the post office.
and good.
Good.
That was crazy. Like, listening to him say that, I was like tripping out. First of all, where there is only one pastor and or bishop at large black churches, everybody think they the pastor. So it ain't only so many pastors that this family can have. They got several pastors. It's everybody. The deacon is the pastor. It depends on the day and where the pastor's at.
Mm.
So first of all, here's my question. All right.
I think I know. I think you're going to say what I'm going to say.
Well, no. First of all, how do you know that the church administration that's sitting with the family is a pastor, right? It could be a deacon. It could be a support. So can we have white pastors? Also, what about deacons? Can we have several black deacons? Can we have several black choir members? Is it just not several blacks? What is the criteria here, Kev? Is it only pastors? Like, we can't have several. We got one black juror. That's enough.
Was that multiple choice? Because I think the answer was C.
No blacks. Period. We don't want several blacks in this courtroom.
and those who are here need to spread out. Just don't sit in the jury box.
Don't sit together. No holding hands or
that area. That area right there. That's for the jury. That's whites only.
Intimidate the jury. Like, come on, fam. Get out of here with that.
Jesse Jackson was in there falling asleep.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think he's intimidating a whole lot.
Al Sharpton was actually much more intimidating like 8 years ago or 10 years ago before he lost all the weight. So, yeah, even then it's not intimidating. Yeah. But
I mean, you're going to mess around. Yeah. How delicate are you? We'll put 15, get rid of the 15 pastors and put 15 Deacon Jones in there.
For real. Hey, listen.
Deacon the villain.
Yeah. Tell everybody you got slapped when you were a child without telling everybody you got slapped when you were a child. This is basically what both of these do. It's like, yeah, come on. Tell everybody you can't fight without telling them you can't fight. Like, but it upsets me because, again, it's a dog whistle to a certain group of people. And it seems really obvious to me that, that at least Judge Schroeder is playing a game, saying, Yeah. It's like he's basically a Twitter troll who got a chance to be, judge over a trial, and now he's going to perform, as best as he possibly can. So
yeah, talk about leaving everything on the court. I mean, that dude,
just goofy.
Ricky Schroeder got his money's worth, boy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, it's a shame. It's sad. Talking about intimidating people by simply being there. That's really the problem, right? That's why you're all sitting there right now, is because somebody got intimidated because a young man was just breathing in a certain place that you didn't think he should be. And that's the case with a lot of people. You're reading something that I don't think you should be reading in a place that I don't think you should be reading it. They're very delicate, man. Meanwhile, there's a trial going on for the Nazis. Where the guy on trial can't afford a lawyer, so he's representing himself and he's quoting Hitler, and doing some performative, sort of one man Nazi show in the courtroom, and that's okay, evidently.
People are becoming very performative. I have this is completely off subject, but on the subject of performing, I think he's my neighbor. I think he lives around here. He has to, right? So. He's enjoys talking to me, I guess, because I don't do a lot of the talking, which for those who know me, that's already amazing, right? That I'm actually not doing the talking. So, but he really, since COVID hit, he just is really, really, really anti-vax. And I hadn't seen him for, about a month. And he saw me, man, and he just ran up to me to tell me everything he'd been thinking about COVID. And I'm like, you guys are this is like a freak show. Like, y'all just running up to people that I don't know you. I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't care otherwise either. Like, I don't care. Whatever, man. Move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody wants to be talking to anybody.
Yeah.
More than necessary.
Yeah. My man, yeah, I'll tell you the story after. That's actually not a story for that. I mean, it's not a terrible story, but it's a pointless story for on the air. But my man put in quite an effort, and I basically had to throw the block. Like, I don't want to talk. All right?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
No mas. So anyway, speaking of
free
no
speech, man.
Yeah, right, exactly. Topic number 2. Kev titles this "When in Rome," I guess. After white students displayed Confederate flag at school, black students were suspended for planning a protest. This is reported by The Hill. The players involved are the official flag of the letter L, dumb kids, and dumber adults. This is real brief, y'all. Some black students were suspended from their high school for planning a protest after another group of students came to school waving a Confederate flag. Last week, a group of students at Coosa High School in Rome, GA, when in Rome, now you guys get the reference, were filmed waving the Confederate flag and hurling racial slurs. Did I write that title or did you?
Oh, I think you did. I was going to give you credit for that.
There you go. My bad, y'all. I wrote that title.
It's excellent. It's not going to help you next Sunday, but it's okay.
Oh, God. Good grief. Newsweek reported that the 4 students filmed were carrying a Confederate flag in favor of, Kev, Farm Day on School Spirit Day, which led to a homecoming. Led up to homecoming. They did not face any repercussions for it, Kev. However, the student administration suspended several students who were planning the protest. Student protesters told CBS 46 that only black students were suspended. I don't know. How much of this show can we do?
I don't know. This is the thing that kills me is that you hear all these guys, anti-critical race theory or whatever guys, and it's men and women, or anti-vax or anti-mandate, not even anti-vax, anti-rules that they don't like,
anti-rules,
pro-rules that they like that don't affect them, anti-rules that they don't like that affect them.
Correct.
And they're crying and it's okay to be in touch with your emotions, but they're bugging out. People calling their congressmen who happen to vote for, fixing potholes and telling them they're going to kill his family. It's like, you guys are really under pressure. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there and I'm like, shut up. But that's about all I have energy for. It's like,
there is no space.
I guess if we've been telling you that your new clothes are invisible and that they don't exist and you're walking outside showing your ass, but you insist on doing it every day, at some point, it's just like, well, yeah, I guess. Remember how remember how we said that's racist and you said, oh, I'm anything but racist? It's like, well, we don't even have to do that anymore. You're just out there doing it, acting stupid.
I don't have a racist bone in my body. I have been very, very fortunate. I'm being facetious, by the way, to run into a couple of crazy people aside from the gentleman I just told you about. We were, at a family outing, and I, made a joke to a person in line behind me, like, just a passive joke. And he turned out to be a very strong Trump supporting man from Houston who decided to tell me everything that California was doing wrong to the country. And I was like, wow, this is a lot. This is quite a bit. All right. Hey, look, in those situations, I'm not really a performer. So you weren't going to convince me of anything. I, partially agreed to kind of get him to chill out, and there was nothing I could do to get him to chill out. But I use it as a moment to teach my daughter something. Mm-hmm. I said, what you need to understand, because his wife was a school teacher. I said, what you need to understand is they're everywhere. And this is how racism has a genuine effect. Because here's what we're doing right now, especially people of color. To be 100% square with you, I see white people doing this, but it's people of color, especially people of color who feel like they may gain an advantage in all of this somehow by siding with the empire. They're saying that they're giving you the idea that racism is peer to peer, right? You're called out of your name in a grocery store, and that's all that racism has any genuine effect on, right? But we have two instances, and again, the wife of the man who decided to go on a tirade in line was also a school teacher. Judges, school teachers, school administration, all enacting racism and or bigotry right out in the open that has an effect on the lives of people that they're to govern or work for or teach or whomever. Right. So when you have this kind of idea that bigotry and racism is not a big deal, it's just peer to peer, or any ism you want to select. Like, the thing is, people still carry those biases and all of that into their professions when it's time to hire, when it's time to serve, when it's time to judge, when it's time to defend, when it's time to teach. All of these moments, when it's time to sell a home, when it's time to give a business loan and or personal loan, when it's time to give a home loan, all of it, it's not like people just be like, well, I'm at work now and I'm no longer going to be. No, you will sell an Asian food joke right there on the stand, because why not? Right. Mm-hmm. And then you will proceed to preside over people of color or whomever you have some type of bias, and put your bias right there out there. Like, whatever. I don't need to hide my racism. I can be this way. I'm the longest running judge in Wisconsin. I can do whatever I want, right? Or right. You just feel super comfortable. Again, a person who works in our legal system, right? Not wanting any black pastors in it, right? Or again, school administration. So what I taught my daughter in that moment is actually kind of a good pinpoint for this show, that we can pretend like racism doesn't have an effect and that people are yelling at the void and screaming and just using their thumb on Twitter to tell you real life stories and situations that happen to them, only for you to dismiss because you sang Black or White by Michael Jackson when you were in high school. But the reality is that this goes into live in color effect in our day-to-day lives, those biases. And the fact that y'all don't want to remove them and or teach about them and or just, I don't know, discuss them shows me that you have no idea that racism has had any genuine effect on, you know, society and in this country in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, yeah, if you don't even want to talk about it because you're so sensitive about it, then don't say you want to change it.
Right.
I get it. You like it. It's cheating.
It benefits you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're okay with that, then just say you're okay with that.
Yep.
I would prefer that so that, you know, some of the folks who are actually also suffering from it, who just don't have time to pay attention to all these silly little stories that don't really affect most of us directly.
Right.
Start to realize, like, oh, there's a reason why I'm working 4 jobs and I still can barely make ends meet. And it's not because I'm an idiot. It's not because I'm not a hard worker. It's not because my children aren't smart.
Right.
It's not because, you know, it's not because I haven't tried my best. It's because they cheating.
Yeah. Yeah. Stacking the deck in their favor.
Yeah. And they don't even want to talk about it. They, you know, they will talk about Toni Morrison like some sort of monster.
Mm-hmm.
Only after her passing, by the way.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't want to catch the verbal hands while the person is still here to defend themselves eloquently.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll continue to make young children of all races read books where one of the main characters' first name, his last name's Jim, his first name starts with an N, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Because that's a classic.
It's a classic book, and it's not. He didn't mean anything by it. That's just what they called them back then, right? There was no bias and no implicit bias. There's nothing,
right?
Nothing serious about it. It's just a word.
It's there was just a word.
Listen,
yeah,
Kev,
he didn't mean anything by it.
He didn't mean anything. No, there was never been a violent situation following the usage of that word. Never. It's never happened.
So it's okay for them to read it. But if the teacher wants to discuss why it was different then and why maybe it's different now, and that the third grader, fourth grader, fifth grader who reads it now probably shouldn't say that word. And if they get their butt whipped after they say it, that they probably deserve that. If they want to sort of explain that and give them some safety tips for the year 2021 and so on, then that becomes critical race theory. We can't have that.
We can't have it. We can't discuss it. I mean, look, we quite on the 4th of July, we bathe ourselves in red, white, and blue, desecrate the flag, which, you know, it's y'all business really. By putting a thin blue line on it or a thin red line on it or whatever. And discuss history that we individually were not part of. We as, you know, people living right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then any other historic event, it's like, well, were you there? I was like, well, were you there on the first day of independence? So while you doing backspins with ribs in your mouth, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we could discuss things we weren't there for.
Yeah, that's such an interesting argument when conversely you talk about the Confederate flag. Well, I wasn't there. Well, nobody said you were.
Exactly.
You dumb
Nobody
dumb.
said you were there for it.
But you're saying it, you're kind of saying it in a way that lets me know that maybe Grandpa was there.
Or at least you wish you were there.
You're right.
But if I was, I would have done the same thing, but I wasn't there for it. It's like, oh, God, be quiet. Be quiet.
Oh, racism.
Oh, good old racism.
You
Okay,
rascal.
it's
You
so much
rascal. You scamp.
Just running
Racism,
around.
you. Just having a good old time. Having a great year. Everyone's having a terrible year. You know who doesn't get COVID? Racism.
Racism. Nope.
Racism's been vaccinated since COVID 1.
This is well protected. Racism is well protected. We good. Don't worry about it.
Racism is on his 23rd booster.
Right after the flu shot. Like it's not the TB test done. Like it's ready to go. Yo, man, Kev. Let's switch it up a little bit, man. Let's hit him with a damn nature. You ready to hit him with a damn nature, man?
Let's do it.
Damn, nature.
All right, so check it out.
This was you too, right?
This was me. This is the article, not the title.
Yeah. Well, I fell down a little bit this week, and I have to give you credit for really picking up the slack, because you are coming with the heat.
Thank you,
right
brother.
here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this one, man. Firefox is not messing around with what they're sending me these days. So I would have to say that Get Pocket app is pretty much out of pocket. So anyway, all right. So Kev titled this "March of the Penguins 2: Ice on the Track." The reason for this one is, and I was shocked to read it. This was like the alligators and crocodiles can climb trees thing. Like I was like, okay, now wait a minute. I had to look it up from multiple sources. So this is sourced by the Atlantic.com. Players involved are penguins and the world's oldest profession. All right, no longer leaving you guys in suspense. Here we go. Though penguins have been held up as models of traditional Christian family values, some of their sexual activities would challenge even the most liberal of human communities. Nearly a third of female Humboldt penguins cheat on their partner, in many cases with a member of the same sex. 1 in 10 Adelie? I want to say
she got an album coming out this week.
Yeah, I was going to say that seems like a little disrespectful. So anyway, penguins has a bit on the side. So they 1 in 10, 10%. Penguins are also, according to Lloyd Spencer Davis of the University of Otago in New Zealand, one of the only animals on the planet to have turned to prostitution.
Hey now.
Let's go. Toward the end of a brief summer session on the Antarctic Peninsula, as the weather warms, the penguins' simple stone nests face the danger of becoming flooded. So the females go on a hunt for fresh pebbles to shore up their parental investment. Stealing is rife, Kev, and scuffles are commonplace. They out there scrapping. Some sneaky females have learned to avoid getting beaten up by possessive pebble owners by targeting the nest of unsuccessful males living at the edge of the colony with no parental duties. With no parental duties, these singletons are free to go on pebble hunting sprees and amass veritable stone castles. They are also extremely desperate to spread their seed. The sly female shuffles up to the deep with a deep bow and a and a sideways glance. It's a lot of description here. As if she wants to copulate with him. The sex is a swift affair. Many of the inexperienced males misfire and miss their target. Kev, this is ridiculous. The female then toddles back to her nest with a pilfered pebble on her beak. It got real ridiculous on her back. Some, especially cunning females, flirt but skip the sex part and simply make off with the stone.
Ooh.
Yeah. We romance.
That's bad business. That's bad business.
That is bad business. One particularly effective hustler was recorded swiping 62 pebbles within an hour.
Man. Oof.
Woo.
Hey.
Busy.
You better cash out.
For real. Good grief. Wow, man.
It's for the kids.
Is it though? Is it?
Oh man.
Where my player penguins at that don't give no stones?
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's got to be a couple player penguins out there that's like, You know what I'm
He's
saying?
single. He's on the edge of town. He's got no mouths to feed. He's got a little pebble Ferrari. He drives around, just drives it down to the front of the driveway and back up, puts it in the garage.
Right?
Yeah.
For real. Like, yeah. You know? No.
Yeah.
I make all the pebbles, but I don't give no pebbles to these ladies. Nope. Nah. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Just the pimpy penguins fam out there doing it. Like, Trek, why you ain't got no pebbles, homie? Oh, nah, you know, some ladies that came by. You stupid. I don't never give up no pebbles.
Oh man. Well, I just picture a penguin with a little acrylic hoodie on. Just this H&M hoodie with says Trek Life on it.
Right? Beef. Man, beef.
Oh
Right?
man. Oh. You know the one thing you can't say though.
What's that?
There's no white on black beef with penguins. Can't blame it on that. It's we're all in this together.
Yeah, everything is happening at once. Wow. Hey, in ancient times they used to stone prostitutes. Penguins are like, this is just our version.
Hey, they've been studying critical human theory. Smart.
Penguins are smart, man. I'm mad at the dipping off with the stones and the pebbles without the smash though. Like they said it's a quick thing. Like, come on, the least that you could do, right?
Yeah.
I bought you this drink.
Yeah. You think she complains on the way out? That's it? He's like, come here, look at this iPad.
Zoom in. No, Apple is adding extra space.
It's Apple. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
It's Apple's AI.
Apple's AI is adding all the extra room around it.
Apple is anti-penguin.
Man, listen. Apple is anti-penguin. All right, Kev. Let's do this, man. Let's get into the time. It's that time. Y'all know what it is, man. We finna jump into the Sakoda ones. All right, so if y'all don't know what this is, basically I give Kev a crazy headline, and Kev responds with Kev-isms, basically. And we discuss it a little bit. This one we might actually talk about just a little bit. Just a little bit. This is like the most old head energy thing. All right. So I actually want to give a little bit of backstory on it. So usually I try to find something that's a little off the wall, right? Like the one Omega's. Shout out to side note.
Yeah, this is where we would take Omega. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say this is where we would take a left turn from our sort of straight ahead news related things like penguin prostitutes and get into something a little wacky.
Oh man, but shout out to Omega, man. That's my dude. And if you haven't checked out the Rap 6 Radio write up, my man Omega, you know, he drops some knowledge on y'all.
It's almost like he has to. I feel it's the thing that's sad is that he forces himself to suffer through this twice every week.
Right?
It's like eating your own puke. I think penguins do that too, don't they?
Well, they're birds, so they feed their children their puke. That's for sure. Oh man. Okay, Kev.
Okay.
Do certain sounds enrage you?
Yes.
Neurologists may know why. That
All
is
of
the
them.
title.
Thank you. And good night.
All sounds was like, okay, Kev, let me ask you a question. When you read this title, what or who was the first thing or person that popped into your mind?
Leaf blower lady.
I didn't even think about her.
Oh man, I didn't have time when he sent it. I didn't have time to pull up a leaf blower sound effect, but I would have.
I immediately looked around like for my wife because I thought maybe I would get in trouble for the face I was making or whatever I was thinking at that moment. It was like, do certain sounds enrage you? And I was like, are they talking about the conversation I just had?
Whoa. What was the first sound you thought of?
Just something to do being told to me.
Just talking.
Just talking.
Just general talking.
Yeah, just the general voice. Just rage. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Like, wait a minute. Did somebody catch that? Then I just thought
I'm already on thin ice. Just the sound of children.
Just general sound of children. I should never be this bothered by the sound of children playing. But dude, I am so triggered. And I'm look. Y'all can blame my dad for that. Y'all can blame my dad and blame my dad. And I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for no other culture. And every black father ever. Because we all had to get on from around here with all that noise and take that noise all outside and all of that. So now the sound of children is just a problem. And there's nothing y'all can do about it. You know what I'm saying? It's my upbringing. You know what I mean? And I don't have any plans of changing. And
I'm lucky too, because one, my kid is far from perfect, but she's for the most part relatively mellow. And she's an only child too, right? I mean, you have two kids, especially if they're close in age, they're going to cause a little bit of a ruckus potentially, right?
No, yeah.
But she picks the funniest times to just be like if I'm recording, and I shut two doors and she's on the other side of both of them. So the only sound that she can make that really will pierce through is she learned how to whistle, and she wants to let me know that she can whistle. I tell you what, I could be in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and if she was sitting in the middle of Long Beach Harbor whistling on a stuck cargo ship, I would hear it. But the crazy thing is that she'll do stuff and I'm like, I'm at least smart enough to not like completely bug out. The second I bug out, I'm like, the second that happens, I know I'm the jerk.
Oh yeah, I just filled that role and learned to enjoy it because, my oldest is pretty quiet. She's pretty chill.
That's the sense I get.
Yeah, she's not really performative. My youngest is just pots and pans.
She's just jumping off the top turnbuckle.
Dude, just every single. And it's like, unless she's focused on her own thing, at which point that is turned up to whatever volume is unreasonable. So it's like, yo.
Have you mastered the look though? I have the look. I use the look.
Okay.
Because every so often
it doesn't work on the youngest.
Does she laugh at you?
She just looks at me like, what? What? I'm like, what do you mean, what? It's supposed to terrify you. She's like, why are you looking at me? Oh man. All right, man. We gonna hop on out of here, man.
But remember, humans, why use 10 words? Why use 10 words when all you needed was 3? Less is more. When it comes to talking, less is more. Except for this. Except for Rap Sucks Radio.
Except for Rap Sucks Radio. Yes. It's so funny that my wife was the first sound that came to mind. Yo, Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding. Oh, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. I am your home for Track Life. And I always put the wrong way. That over there, right there, is your fam, Kev Sakoda.
The Pebble King.
Listen, I'll know rappers listen to the show when I start hearing hot penguin lines. You got it from here. You know what I mean? Keep that in mind. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you'd like to catch past episodes, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. You can also check this out on your television on BTSN Behind the Scenes Network. Download that app on your Roku or any of your Amazon Fire devices. Click on that app, and we are there with plenty of other dope content. BTSN Behind the Scenes Network. We want in. And we are out of here like last year, man. On the count of three, we say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace. We out, y'all. Penguins is nasty. I got a pocket full of stones. All right, y'all. We out for real.